Hello, this is John from SOS, and in this video we're going to take a look at a really key part of Canvasser, and that's creating project groups, projects, and packets. Why would you want to create project groups and projects and packets? It's necessary to create a project group if you want to attach a survey to a group of contacts, and we've talked about surveys in another video, so I won't get into too much details of that here. But survey are a group of questions or fields that you want to ask or mark down for a group of contacts. The other reason you will want to create project groups and packets is if you want to visit a large number of contacts and separate them out, split them up into packets based on geography. For example, let's say you have 50 contacts and you have 5 organizers, 5 staff, and you want to make sure that each of them has 10 people to visit and that those 10 people are as close to each other as possible. The packetizer will take those 50 contacts and arrange them in a way that they're in packets based on geography split up by 10. And that is what the main purpose of the packetizer is. Here are the steps. First, you're going to select a report. Reports are not something covered in this video. You should be able to know how to create your reports. Select your survey. The survey was also described in another video, so we won't go over that today. But we will go into creating project groups, creating projects, importing the contacts into your project group, and then creating packets. And then, as always, we want to test our work and make sure everything looks good. You should note that contacts need to be geocoded before you can create packets. We do offer an add-on service for geocoding. If you do not yet have that turned on or are interested, please contact support@strategicorganizingsystems.com. The first step to creating project groups is selecting the report that you want that creates the universe of people you want to visit. In this example, we're going to choose the visit test report. And you'll see that we have a total of 34 contacts. Note that we do have addresses for these and they have been geocoded. At the top of your screen, you're going to see an ID. Every report, you're going to take that unique ID for this report and copy it. From there, you're going to go to Project Groups and create a new project group. And we can give it a name. So this will be Sam Gomper's Turf. We can give it an ID, and that is the report ID that I just copied from the report URL, and then we select a survey. We've got 2 surveys already created. We're going to select the contact sheet, and then we're going to click Save. And that's how you create your project group. The next step is to create a project. Let's click on the New Project button. We will give it a name. You'll notice that when we select the project directly from the project group, it already puts in the project group name. If that isn't in there, make sure you select the proper project group. The next variable is the number of contacts per packet. So we're going to just make it so that we only want to visit 5 people within each packet. And the radius we're going to create, we'll keep it pretty small as 25. Why do we care about a radius? Well, the radius is a good way to get rid of outliers. Sometimes you'll have a list of contacts, but there'll be a couple of them that are way out, far away from everybody else. And you don't want to necessarily send a staff person way out into the boondocks. So you can set a radius so that any of the contacts outside of that radius from your point that you're about to put in, your address, will be eliminated. So the center of that radius is the address that we're going to enter in right now. So we're going to put in the street, the city, the state, the zip, and then the maximum packets per project. Maybe you just don't want to have too many packets created. You only have 2 organizers. But for now, I usually just set it up to something higher than necessary. So setting a high number on there is not a bad thing to do. Then you click Save. And that's all there is to creating a project. So now we can go back to our project group. And I'm going to select Sam Gomper's Turf, which is the project group that we created. And then I'm going to click the button of Import Contacts. And you'll see a message that's saying the importing contacts is being processed and has been started. And the user who clicked on the import contacts will receive an email when the contacts have been imported into the project. So while we're waiting for this to run, let's think about this. We're saying I want to grab the list of people who are on the report and put them into my project. And that is the universe of people that we want to go visit. That means that if you add people to your report later on, you need to re-import those contacts into the project group. It's a static snapshot of that report at the given time that you imported them in. So if your universe of people changes on that report, you add new contacts, you delete them, you'll need to re-import them into the project group. Looks like the contacts have been imported because we see the list of them showing up. There's 34. That was the size on our report. And next, we simply click Create Packets. And again, we just wait until the packets have been created. The packets may take several minutes, depending on the size of the universe of people. Could take up to maybe 10 minutes, but you'll get an email when it's complete. Once you've received the email that the packets have been created, you can go back to your project group and you'll see you may need to refresh by clicking here, but you'll see that there's packets that have been created, and you'll also notice it will tell you the number of contacts that were geocoded and the total that were not geocoded. So we already had 34 geocoded, so we have 0 that are not, which is great. And it looks like you're all set. So let's take a look with our simulator to see if everything worked out the way we expected. I'm going to go to Canvasser. I'm going to click on the cog, the settings icon, and I will choose Sam Gomper's Turf. The project was Albany, California, and I will select one of the 7 packets that were created, which makes sense because there were 34 contacts, and we 5 contacts within each packet. So I'll check packet 7, click Save, click Apply Filter, and we have our 5 contacts created. I can click, make sure the proper survey has been selected, and sure enough, my proper survey appears. That is the end of this video on how to create project groups, projects, and packets.